Hey guys, welcome back to our reaction channel. Today, I'm gonna react to another top 10 anime. Before getting to the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have any recommendations, comment down below. Anyway, let's get into the video.
来い。お前が来い。そのにやけ面切り刻んでやるよ。
We've had hand-to-hand fights and gunfights, so how about sword fights for a change? Swords are cool, that's why. That, and I think the sword fights create a unique opportunity for choreography that the other types of battles don't. And what better item to represent anime than good old swords of all variants? Let's not waste any more time and get slashing with the 10 most impactful sword fights in anime. Let's begin with Yato versus Rabo.
Damn.
Noragami is such an underrated gem. It was one of my favorites in the season when it was airing, and I feel a bit sad that it's generally being forgotten these days. I've loved action shows that dealt with the supernatural since forever, but I think that Noragami has a certain moral and philosophical edge that gives people another incentive to watch it. The first season of the show ends with an anime original filler that actually gave us one of the best fights of the season. Despite Yato only knowing one real move, Noragami excels in the showcasing of powers and unique applications of weapons, and this fight is one of the prime examples of that. At the end, it is ultimately a fight with more focus on the character drama instead of the actual fighting, and created one of the most touching scenes in the first season, second only to Yukine's absolution. Once the drama's been dealt with, Yato just finishes off his opponent quickly to end Noragami version of Rurouni Kenshin's first arc.
Ooh. Number 9. What is number 9?
Garo's that one niche show that gave us some nice and flashy fights. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that a lot of people have seen it, so
the animation
this
is
fight
so
can
good.
convince you to give it a try. We have what seemed to be a simple fight between Alfonso and Leon, two characters who end up shaping the narrative in major ways going forward. However, everything starts off small, and before they fight in the climax, they get some one-on-one time. In terms of stakes and the sheer power being displayed, I won't say this fight is the best among those in Garo. However, in terms of animation and ambiance, I don't think that even the climactic fight comes close. I just want to give a shout out to the guy who directed and designed this sword fight. Such an underrated gem in an underrated anime. It would also help to set the tone for the eventual confrontation near the finale.
The choreography was so good. You can't ask for more.
Jin and Mugen versus Karia makes it to the list as its number 8 entry.
Number 8. What is he doing?
I didn't expect hip-hop and samurai to make an amazing combination, but what we've got here was one of the most unique shows out there in terms of swag and flair. The show actually has a lot of cool fights, but I think that the battle against Karia is the best one among them. Samurai Champloo fights are really oozing with character, and such can be seen in this conflict. You have three very badass swordsmen, and you can really tell how unique their fighting styles are just by watching this fight. You don't even need context.
What is he
and
doing,
you can just tell what
What
these
the
characters
fuck?
are like by skimming through the battle. It's just so fluid and smooth, perfect for what Samurai Champloo prides itself on. The crispness of the fight has aged so well, and I think this kind of animation is one of the key reasons the more veteran anime fans still remember Samurai Champloo so fondly to this day. Let's proceed with guns blazing and, well, I mean sword swinging with one of my favorite battles in Kill La Kill. Kill La Kill has no shortage of cool and epic fights, and I think that this last battle between Ryuko and Satsuki is just the perfect way to cap off the first part of the series. It's a flashy finale meant to satisfy everyone just in time before what we know of the series gets turned upside down. Pretty much what makes Kill La Kill so amazing can be seen in this fight. Over-the-top action, top-tier voice acting, and the sheer big fight feel. I can't find a fight that culminates an arc as well as this within the series. Well, there's the goosebumps-inducing finale where Mako had her time to shine, but that's not really a sword fight if I include the whole thing. It's too bad that a lot of people back in the day shunned Kill La Kill for the perceived sexuality. They missed out on such a great fight and a very rich plot that non-anime fans wouldn't expect. Yakimaru versus Tahomaru is the conclusion that Dororo watchers have been waiting for, and it didn't disappoint in the slightest. I really like the
I don't
take they
wanna
did on
watch that
Dororo
anime.
when they modernized it. They modified some traits with the characters,
kinda sad,
and
you
all
know.
that made this
That
final
anime
battle a
is-
lot more exciting and immersive for me. It's been a long time coming for Yakimaru and his quest to make his body whole again, and the ending of his journey leads him to a final confrontation with his own brother. The stakes just seem a lot higher, and it's poetic for the battle to end the way it did. Yakimaru has come a long way, and that's not even getting to the fight itself, which showcases the visual wonders of modern anime.
What
If
the
there's
fuck?
anything you have to watch Dororo to the end for, it's this amazing payoff of a battle. Is Yakimaru the most badass demon slayer there is? I'll let you decide on that one.
Fate.
Heaven's Feel is just a treat
Yeah.
for the eyes. With all the Fate media out there, Saber and
Kirk-
Berserker had their
Kirk
fair
versus
share of
Saber.
skirmishes with one another. Among all of them, I think my favourite
Those
one
are
is the
fucking
Heaven's Feel
monster.
version. You wouldn't expect someone as big and burly as Berserker to be this agile, but he was able to
Holy
match
shit.
Saber blow for blow while simply showing his combat prowess, one that ends up being more than what Saber can handle. This Berserker is just a lot more cunning and skillful than what anyone would expect. It's truly an impactful fight in both story and meta sense. In universe,
When they say
it
Fate,
represents Ilya's
you should
official
look out
entry as a
for
formidable
animation
master.
and
As for us, the
the
viewers, it's also
sound
not every
effects.
day that you can see animation as
Fucking
flashy
badass.
and breathtaking as this. Seeing the movie at the cinema was a real treat too, and I think this fight
Holy
really
shit.
helped set the tone for the rest of the movie.
See?
Which is great because the Heaven's Feel movies are just a wild ride the rest of the way.
Fucking hell, man. The goosebumps, bro. Rurouni Kenshin. Oh, yeah.
One of the most influential anime featuring swords, Rurouni Kenshin ought to make it here. And what better fight to represent it than the culmination of the most fondly remembered arc in the entire anime. More than just a sword fight, this fight is the climax of their battle of ideologies. Kenshin takes on the ruthless monster that on paper would straight up overcome him and his policy of not fighting to kill. It was a battle of conviction. The stakes have never been higher in the series, and I don't think that anything comes close to this fight in terms of intensity. That's not to say that the sword
I
swinging
say it
isn't good.
before, I
The
say it
background
again.
and the context are what I drew
It's
focus on, but
stupid
the fight
ideology,
itself
bro.
is still exciting, and it's full of
Stupid.
twists and turns, often in the form of run-ins.
Gintama, okay.
Gintoki versus Takasugi is the climactic battle that every Gintama fan dreamed of, and boy did it deliver. I think that is just the best way to finish off the long rivalry between Gintoki and Takasugi. People know Gintama for the comedy and the slapstick, but when it decides to go serious and cap off some of its excellently written storylines, you have a payoff like this. An exhilarating fight that lets both combatants'
became
personalities shine
serious,
through.
that's
No
when
wonder
the feels
Gintama's
hit,
a lot
you know?
of people's favourite shonen, or so it seems. I mean, I don't see a lot of hate for it compared to a lot of other popular mainstream shonen. No magical powers, power of friendship, or any contrived anime skills, just pure intensity and violence. The two bitter rivals just let their fists and swords do the
Shit.
talking. It's one of the most emotional fights in the whole shonen anime, and I think that if you're looking for just good old swordsmanship, overflowing with a dose of energy and amazing writing, this is the one to look out for.
What is that anime? I've seen it before, but I don't know what's its name.
Nanashi versus Luo Lang makes it to the first place on today's list. I think that it's fitting to have this fight on this list. Yeah, I know I've talked about this fight a few times now, but even through a decade and a half, this fight is still one of the best sword battles out there. It's aged beautifully, and much of that has to do with the production values and passion that you can see from the animators. It's yet another captivating fight brimming with emotion and enhanced by the beautiful visuals and sound production. The ambiance is perfect, and that's to be expected from a theatrical production of this scale. Would it be fair for me to say
Holy
that this is
shit.
one of the most impactful sword fights because it just raised the bar for the rest of them? I think it definitely is.
Ooh, it broke. Dead.
With that, while we're at it, maybe you can suggest some fights that you'd like to see in the next volume,
It's
because
over?
I think it's just a
That's
matter
it?
of
Like-
when at
Oh,
this
oh.
point. Before you leave, don't forget to like,
Stop it.
subscribe, and hit that sweet bell button.
Hey, bro. I can't complain. The list was good. Anyway, that's top 10 most impactful sword fights in anime. If you have any suggestions, please leave it down below in the comment section. I'll see you soon.